Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa Lapse with Ultra Code, where in the last episode we figured out that we managed to wake up someone called Gaia Esper, which was the Pandora's sister, and apparently Akiko Quartz was there as well. That's the person who impersonated Zero. I'm not quite sure the details, but basically Akiko is in a terrible condition, and if we are trying to remove him from the cryostasis position that he currently is, then he will probably just die. And yeah, speaking of which, we discovered that it was a testing chambers room. I was completely wrong about that. Well, the chamber word part is correct, but I didn't expect that it was chambers room. I thought for once that it was a morgue room or something where they kept the corpse of our friends who unfortunately are no longer with us. Anyway, if you do like this kind of content, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you will not miss out on anything that I put on this channel. Everything is free, you don't need to pay, and by subscribing you make this channel grow and flourish even more, which makes me happy so I can create more content for you to watch. Yeah, let's go. We start right at the very start of chapter 4, and we just we just end chapter 3. So yeah, we are about to start the class trial on who killed Forte. That's the last episode, but yeah, let's get right into it. She did not turn. Canon, I was cold to you last night. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to be apologized. Sorry. You don't have to apologize. I ought to be the one who's sorry. Canon's voice was hushed. Huh? I'm sorry. But you don't have to be anything to be sorry for. I'm the one who tore your well-intentioned photo in half. Canon? What did she mean I ought to be the one who's sorry? The atmosphere was disquieting. No one said a word. We stoically reserved all our inquiries for the upcoming trial. Ooh, Chapter 4. Endless and Unfamiliar. There's anchoring there. Does that mean like this? The chain has been finally broken? Well, let's find out. Another visit to the trial grounds. And looks like Zero's cleaning up Forte's body, which was discovered here. Every trace of the crime scene had been removed, as if nothing happened. However, I still saw the faint phantom image of blood painting the floor burn in the back of my eyes. The five of us stepped in warily, footsteps echoing in the chamber as we habitually navigate to our respective stands in silence. Another trial. Forte is gone now. When we split up, our groups have discovered a slew of information that attempted to explain our captivity. But in spite of... Oh, look at that! Missy actually got an updated sprite on her because she was wounded in the last episode. But in spite of making these discoveries that we thought would help us prevent another danger, another one of our group has fallen. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I guess the Eve personality is now gone, so now it's you, Gaia. Your personal form. It is unfortunate that I must greet you like this, but welcome back to the trial grounds. A fuzzy hologram of Gaia appeared before us. Oh, you're here too? Sure, whatever. Showing your face isn't really going to change anything, you know. Gaia, do you know anything about what happened to Forte? I can't say I do, but please, considering my presence an asset to the discussion. Should you need any inquiries answered, I will do my best. Geez, this one has been nothing but useless. If anything, I will post it that Zero will, at the very least, respect my testimony. What makes you think you can pull the wool over our eyes? What if you two are colluding? Huh, you give her too much credit. At this point, she's nothing but an obstacle. Eve, or rather, as you know her now, Gaia knows zilch. I'm the only one who knows for certain whether you all will be voting correctly or incorrectly. After all, what kind of judge would I be if I did not know? Freeing Gaia meant stripping her of her prize. Huh? But we're not here to talk about that. So, let's get this show on the road. And let's go for the class trial for the 4th time this time around. Okay, here we go. Let's go over the rules, shall we? You're all on trial to figure out who the culprit is of today's heinous crime. The rules are as follows: discuss, discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate, and we'll just see what happens from there, yeah? One of few outcomes will occur. Determine and vote incorrectly, and the entire class is executed, with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Determine and vote correctly, and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. You just might live. You just might live to see another day. Our victim today is Forte Solo, the ultimate opera singer. It's a real shame we never got to hear that bass baritone voice of his. Sus la vie. So you know what to do. I'm sure we will get this one done with real quick. Zero chuckled to himself after his brisk opening statement. We all stared at each other from the circumstance of the stance, our eyes locking onto the most suspicious. Say Connor. Don't waste your breath on this. There's an obvious answer. Is that so? Let us be the judge of that. This case is going to be difficult, but we need to try. Though I desperately wish this will not happen again, our culprit must be found. First thing first, we can't ignore the fact that Say was right in the middle of the crime scene, drenched in blood, presumably from the victim himself. It is ineffable, the sheer amount of evidence proving that you are at fault for this. Make your own judgment. Fine. There's no way around the fact that no one else could have killed Forte, but I suppose I'll entertain you. Let's clear up everyone's alibi. When the 6 of us split up, the 2 groups were as follows. Missy, Forte, and Say went to investigate the flaws we've seen. Canon, Echo, and I went to investigate beyond the foyer doors. Here is when Gaia's statement will prove useful. Me, Lyle, and Canon were together with her for a majority of the afternoon down in the testing chambers. That is correct. I have not left the testing chambers since my release. As for supporting Lyle and Echo's statement, I did not see anyone leaving the testing chambers. Nevertheless, I unfortunately took no notice when Canon suspiciously left. Yeah, Canon, you managed to slip out unnoticed while Lyle and I spoke to Gaia. Where did you go? I had to step out. Step out? And where to? Back to the main wing so you could sneak around and plot something on your own? Canon in the main wing? If she were involved in Forte's murder, she never made herself known during our journey. The 3 of us didn't see a trace of her as we explored the rooms, and only the 3 of us went up in the elevator before Forte's demise. So only the 3 of you went up. Missy, is there anything else you can tell us about your group's exploration? Forte is no longer with us, and Say is obvious culprit number 1. And Say might be unreliable. Doesn't the blood speak for itself? Say, one moment. I hate to commit to a conclusion so hastily, so I would like to know what occurred leading to the events that caused my side of investigation to unravel so grievously. The 3 of us moved as one unit in the main wing for the entirety of our investigation. Like I said, we all entered the trial grounds together. Okay, what happened next? And, well, I cannot speak more plainly about what happened, what occurred after, though I wish more than anything if it were untrue. But that wish is nothing but dust. The slash that has been carved in proves this. Say turned the dagger on me. Oh yeah, you were attacked by Say. That's like what happened to Echo in the premonition. I think that was the correct word for that. Clear as day, Say Connell is the culprit behind Forte Solo's murder. Hold it! If you ask me to act right now, I would not lay a vote against Say. I was the only one present when she made her assault. I should know what her motive to cause harm was, and I say it was not with murderous intent. Say still harmed you though. That action alone would be indicative of more. Case in point, the very poignant murder of Forte. Are you protecting her? What do you even have to gain from doing something like that? Hang on, if Missy has an explanation, we should hear her out. I'm still apprehensive about voting too quickly, especially when we have not yet established any rhyme or reason. Indeed, my testimony is not given by a one who gain everything except the truth. Would I not be endangering myself if I vote against Say? I see where this is going. Knowing tiresome you all are, you want to dig for a reason behind all these sort of things despite seeing that the conclusion could not be more telling. Fine, let's talk about motivation. Just cut to the chase, will you? It will be helpful. After all, Zero explicitly delivered motivations in different, targeted ways over the course of the afternoon. Motivations? What could have caused Say to turn the dagger against Missy and possibly against Forte as well? And did hearing the other motivations cause someone else to behave differently? Hopefully in return, we might also get an answer to Lyle's question of what Missy might have to gain if she potentially were protecting Say. Okay, here we go, discussion commence. Let's see what everyone has to say about their specific motives. My motives? It was a photograph. My motives, along with Cannon's, was delivered shortly after our two groups parted ways. A photograph, the bloody portrait of a friend whom the dagger was belonged. Say, the announcement didn't direct any sort of gift to you. That's right, wait. I don't think that's it. And Lyle, your motive. It was the blackout, a result of my fear of the dark. Okay, so I guess we have to contradict Say because if I remember correctly, Say got the motive not long after that. Not long after Missy getting her motive as well as Canon as well. So, one. That's true. For the Solomon song was announced first, and Say's announcement of nothing followed shortly. Did she react to the message anyway? She didn't react in any particular manner though. Nothing is only fitting for me. Is that so? It's possible that Say being left out might have left an impression on her. Okay, so that's not the answer. Okay. It was a photograph. Yeah, but you ripped that off immediately. My motive, along with Cannon's, was delivered shortly after by the ways the bloody photo of friend. Well, Missy got that as well. Motive, fear of the dark. Wait, hang on. 1 second. It's like watching Dalmatians. No, it didn't mention anything. But, is this one? Nope. see. What does my motive have to do with the case anyway? We already discussed that me, Echo, and Gaia were all together on the floor beneath the foyer, nowhere near the trial grounds. Well, we have to assume it affected the entire building, and that the group upstairs also lost their visibility. The darkness occurring has to be some bearing to the timeline of events. Say, do you recall a blackout occurring? Yes. I can't believe I still have to ask, but care to elaborate at all? It's unimportant. Is that so? But during the moment before Gaia found the flashlight, it was too dark to even see my own hand in front of my face. How would it be possible for anyone to do anything without visibility? Based on the murder scene, we had glaringly obvious culprit. Yeah. So a blackout occurred, but so the blackout must be in the whole building. I mean, we didn't know that for sure. So I guess it affects some parts of the building, or maybe it did affect all of the building, and Sei is the only one who confirms that. Based on the murder scene, we had glaringly obvious culprit, but none of us could understand why Sei would act in such a way. To make things more confusing, Sei is the only one without a properly delivered motive. Wait, what about us? We don't have any motive either. The timing and respective intensity of each individual motive. It must create some volatility in our headspace, as far as I can tell. It's a little tough to follow which ones are and aren't it's a little tough to follow which ones are relevant and are not relevant. Though, now that I think about it, what if announcing them was the purpose of the motive? What? Announcing the motives? But why will someone else's motive affect anyone but the person it's meant for? Well, I was just thinking, I did not receive a personalized motive either, but to hear that everyone got something that will try to provoke them to murder, would not that be frightening? To hear who has motives and a reason to kill, you will feel tormented that others will turn on you. That's all I can think of. Sei received her motive last, at least before Lyle's blackout. In that case, we're back to square one. Sei is the culprit. You just explained a reason why she would be motivated to kill despite not receiving a personalized motive herself. She heard all the motive previous to hers. She heard all the motive previous to hers and must have been shaken by the potential of everyone turning on her. No. Well, it's possible, but no buts. If you need more proof, let's move on. With the advent of Mrs. claim of Sei's attack in mind, the next topic is obvious. That is, the state of Forte's body. Yeah, the victim report was extremely non-specific, more than previous. Vague on purpose, most likely. There were an innumerable amount of stab wounds in his abdomen, likely from the dagger before it was finally stuck in his body. Stab? I thought... Canon quickly fell silent. Something you want to share? Oh, that's right. Canon, you did not even see the body, did you? No, I didn't see the body. Then, is something wrong? Nothing's wrong. Then why are you so shocked when that Forte was stabbed? You clearly know something. Lyle is back. But please, Canon, if you notice something odd, we need your help. Something odd. Something odd. My help? It's I Okay, that's interesting. I shot Forte. Huh? You did what? Canon? That's what you were up to. You better explain yourself. Not only was the revolver out of Mrs. hands when we met up with her, you also have no alibi whatsoever. I hope Canon isn't as contemptuous as the person you think she is to deny information as critical as this one corner. But I must know as well, when did you come to the foyer? And to what end did the revolver's last bullet and thought to have finally been spent? Canon freely admitted that she caused harm to Forte, but to know why she meant to do such a thing caused an anticipation to rise in my chest. I've been suspicious of Say for a while. I had either a strange intuition or just another strain of bad luck left me on. What made me act was finally seeing that mystery announcer in the testing chambers. Echo and Lyle discovered Gaia, the voice behind Eve, so naturally, the under-encapsulated person must be of Say's concern. But what made you suspect Zero and Say had a connection to begin with? I noticed her reaction at the first killing game announcement. She was transfixed on that voice, as if she heard it before. It's a small detail, but I could not see it. Wait, what? Okay, I have to rewatch that clip. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, that's interesting. From day one, I've only ever been suspicious of her. Say, what do you have to say about this? By laying low, she was playing the long game, but that might have to backfire eventually, right? So I slipped out while Gaia, Echo, and Lyle were talking. I had to investigate my apprehensions about her. Returning to the foyer, I moved warily, but I didn't find any trace of them on the first floor. The only thing I found was a photo on the floor and a punctured mark in the The only thing I found was a photo on the floor and a puncture mark in the wall near the elevator. I just missed them. Okay, so this must be the dagger in which Missy stabbed the photo of Darling, which is her friend. I noticed the elevator was at the trial grounds. I called for the elevator to follow after. Upon arrival, the door was open and Missy was suddenly flung onto the elevator cab with me. Okay, so Canon must escape the testing chambers, went back to the foyer, and once she opens the elevator door to see what is everyone else doing on the trial grounds, Missy's body is suddenly in the elevator. She just plugged in, and her head long low. I thought she might have been dead. I looked in to see who her assailant was and saw Say and Forte in the middle of a struggle. Even though Forte had a dagger in his hand, Say was the one with blood all over her hands. He must have put the weapon away from her just after her attack. My suspicions about Say were confirmed. She was under our noses the whole time, waiting for the right moment to strike. Mrs. Revolver had fallen out of her coat pocket. I grabbed it and didn't think twice. I fired towards Say. Oh, you hit Echo. Echo. You thought you hit Say, but it turns out that you hit Forte instead. Well, I thought I did. The lights went out seconds after, and I could not see where my shot landed. I could not run in and check back either, since the elevator shut in my face and mechanically returned me and Missy to the foyer. I ran. A shot was fired. Missy was unconscious, and a blackout took everything. Is that straight to hell? There we have it, a confession. What? Wait for what? Is there any reason for us not to accept this as the truth? Lyle, please, you are the ultimate puzzle master. You should be the one with the coolest head in here. Now you have the hottest head around here. We haven't investigated everything. Well, no, but Canon said she fired the revolver. A gun wound. Where? And that doesn't explain the lacerations. Yeah, you have to explain about that as well. Could that be that injury was caused by Say? I mean, yeah, sure, we never saw injury related to gunshot in Forte's what happened was the bullet that Canon fired misses. Like it goes through between both of them, and just after that the blackout happened. So she have no idea where the shot lands. We can't ignore the one thing that Monokuma file detailed for us. There has to be some relevance. It's within reason for me to doubt the fact, aren't I? Oh, I can explain them. What? How? Because I stabbed him in the abdomen after he was shot. What? Why? There's no use hiding it since you confess. Truthfully, I could not believe it at first, but seeing how desperate she was, I ultimately wanted to help Canon escape. Huh? After I witnessed Canon shove Forte from the elevator, he fell quickly, and I saw his wristlet on pink. I realized that, because he wasn't within Lyle or Echo, Canon would be the most likely implicated as the culprit, so I did what I had to do. I stabbed Forte's body several times near the gunshot. Wanting to conceal it, making it look like he had died of blood loss from lacerations rather than the shot. And since I was the only one on the trial grounds, the blame will be redirected to me. After all, Connors wants to live just as much as any of us. Why not give her the advantage? No way. So Canon become the culprit without ever seeing her victim fall. Wait, is this trial happen so quickly? No, I do not believe it. I do not believe it. It's not like Canon's my personal favorite. It's not like Canon's one of my favorites, but is the trial ended so quickly? Just because we have like so many overwhelming evidence? Is that it? I can't argue with that. I didn't even see whether or not he died. But you're just going to accept it? All I know is that I fired a shot and someone ended up dead. What else is there to say? And unfortunately, as far as we know, the surrounding conditions of Forte's death are indisputable. And Sei is the only eyewitness. But is that really all there is to it? Given that I ultimately wound up in the foyer, it stands with reason that Canon indeed visited the trial grounds, causing the elevator cap to go up and bring me back down after the assault. And you witnessed that I did not find the revolver in my person after I awoke. But yeah, we have to discuss where is the revolver though. I can't argue with that, but listen to you. It's all been laid out on the table. I'm not hiding anything this time. You want to keep going with this discussion because the truth is hard to swallow. Is that it? I have news for you. These trials are full of impossible to accept facts. I'm sorry for continuing this vicious cycle. So won't you just allow me to live with whatever is left of my dignity? Just let me receive punishment already. No, that's not it at all. I just... If there's something bothering you, just spit it out already. I could not help but think there was something missing. I was racking my head for an answer for something. This story just feels off to me. I just don't know why. Everything is out in the open. What else is there to deliberate? Nothing. Just don't be a coward and just vote me off already. If there's no proof of another culprit, then you just endanger yourself with an incorrect vote. I'm sure there's something else we can talk about that can save you. Canon, don't you care that you could be executed? Of course I care. But who am I to argue with these facts? They're impossible to dispute. It's my punishment, isn't it? It's only fair that I get what I deserve. I can't fight it. Yeah, I did not know what to think none of us has had an inkling of what truly occurred on the trial grounds. Cannot admitted that he shot Forte. Say claims that the shot sorry. Say claims that the shot was what killed him. Say masked the gun wound by stabbing Forte several times, allowing Canon a clean getaway. But since Canon unexpectedly confessed, there was no reason for Say to keep secret the fact that he disturbed the crime scene, making it appear the way it did. Yeah, but Canon's being suspicious of Say the entire time, so why she suddenly wanted to help her? Just because she just wants to end the killing game. Is that it? That's the reason? That's the only reason? All I could do is take the word as truth, right? Canon and Say's testimony were the only things we had to work with, yet I could not help but feel like there was much more to this. I was struggling to find the truth in this trial, but will it lead me to a dead end? A dead end? Mrs. said something like that when I went with her and Forte the first time. We ran into a dead end of sorts when we were investigating the courtroom. We could not find Zero or any other hints, and then we were all killed by one shortly thereafter. But something inexplicable occurred as my consciousness faded. I returned to the time before we split into two groups. This time, when I went with Lyle's group, I had information I never could have known if I did not go with Mrs. Group first. I knew the testing chamber's codes somehow, and that Pandora's incubated sister was Gaia, the ultimate cartographer. Was it possible that I needed to pursue this dead end? So yeah, so let's see where this trial will take us into, because this is getting interesting. I grit my teeth. I had an absurd idea. The discussion is over. There's nothing wrong. Canon is the culprit. I looked over at my classmates who had all the same painted, startled expression at the finality of my decision. All of them were shocked, except Say. That's right. Nothing is wrong. Zero silently obliged, calling forward the vote screens to the other students. Everyone was dumbfounded, but with no other options laid before them, only one vote was to be made. Oh, okay, so... Oh, okay then, so we can only vote for Canon then. It's like Arturo Ashley's situation all over again. But yeah, I felt something weird about this one. Wait, there's no guilty one here. There's no... Sorry, there's no the animation of the casino ball rolling around and at the player. Yeah, there's no guilty screen right there. It's as if like everyone agreed for some reason. Auf Wiedersehen, Canon. Thanks for all your hard work. The room, why I pressed the right mouse button? That's the worst mistake ever. The room shook as the walls behind Canon opened to reveal its dark depths. Canon herself simply turned from her place at the stands and walked into the shadow. This is it. I fled from the stand, and my feet pounding as they carried me towards the hallway beyond the walls. What on earth are you doing? Are you still trying to save Canon, obviously? Like take the execution for Canon instead of... taking the execution for Canon. I paid no attention to Gaia's call. I was pursuing that dead end. I slipped in. Gaia's startled exclamation along with the others, shook cries echoing through the halls just before the walls shut. My head was thrashing from fear. Each breath I took was heavier than the last. I threw myself to an execution. Canon! I cautiously stepped forward. A veil of darkness caused me to lose all my bearings. Echo? What in the world are you doing here? I blindly chased after Canon's voice, each step taking enormous effort as I fought against all my instincts of self-preservation. This isn't right. What do you mean? You all voted for this. This is my punishment, isn't it? I was closing in on her. That's right. This is your punishment. This is everyone's punishment. Wait, what? Whirring machinery clicked into the place as bursts of light flooded the room. The powerful lights bled through my closed eyelids, burning the back of my head. Are we guessing it wrong? It had to be someone else. So my theory about Forte was right. Forte, for some reason, he ended his own life, which is flash the sound of an object. But hang on. But how he managed to did that though? I mean, let's take the fact. So Canon was the one who shot him, and then stabbed him multiple times to create the wound as if he was stabbed instead of being shot. But what else? Who else? Like according to Canon, we see he got wounded on the elevator, and we are both. Echo and Lyle are still talking with Gaia at the testing chambers room. No! Canon's cry peeled out amidst the sound of gunfire. All I could see between the firing flashes was the silhouette of her body convulsed violently, each hit pulling her body apart. Oh shit, yeah. And that's not an interesting pun, but she got shot. Well, she's a cameraman and she's got shot. A sharp object narrowly darted past me, tearing my coat and breaking skin. Blood began to ooze from the cut. I heard Canon collapse before me. I started towards the sound and tried to find her, guiding my hand through darkness and day. Pinpricks met my hand. Needles? I felt around at the ground and picked it up. It was small, near invisible thing on its own, but when shot at high speeds, the needles became little. Another series of flashes fired up, blinding me. Between flashes I saw the mangled body that used to be Canon, now a disfigured bloody mess. The metallic taste of blood filled my mouth and I began to choke. A sharp pain melted its way through my throat. I buckled immediately. Pangs of anguish overwhelmed my senses. If I was wrong about this, I was terribly, absurdly, ridiculously wrong. Then I just put my life in danger for nothing. But oh, is this a bad end? Is this yet another bad end? Following this dead end, there had to be something strange. So I lost my grip on the situation. I only felt pain. The terrible sensation sank into my blood. An inflaming ache rushed through every inch of my body. That bad end? Oh. There you go. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there, but basically we sense we can go into the future for, we have a premonition like the one that you see on Final Destination. I grasped at my throat. My skin was undamaged. Only the startling phantom pain of a needle that pierced my throat remained. I wiped the sweat from my brow and met the gaze of concerned faces staring back from my exclamation. Canon, alive once more, rivaled my panicked gaze with her own stoic expression. Just a few feet away from me, she was still waiting for our vote. Are you okay? swallowing hard, I finally realized the purpose of this harrowing, strange occurrence. They gave me a glimpse of everything that could go wrong. Somehow, I had managed to escape death twice. Why was I able to experience an alternate history like that? I could not begin to fathom an explanation. I was trembling. My heart was hammering in my chest. I... I... But if this were anything like the moment before entering the testing chambers, I steadied my breathing. There had to be something useful in that moment of time between coming to a consensus on the culprit and being executed. If I gathered what I learned from the two occurrences ending in death, perhaps I can put together a picture of what could have occurred. As far as the group was aware, the only clues we had to work with were found on the crime scene, and there were many to begin with. Forte's body had multiple lacerations clustered in one area, due to say hiding the gunshot wound inflicted by Cannon. He also had a small pool of blood near the back of his head. However, the other source of blood near the back of his head was what bothered me. Nothing clearly visible caused the injury. Perhaps he just fell on his own? I didn't know how to explain the life-saving phenomenon I just experienced, but I knew I had to take the opportunity it gave me to find the truth. Look, I still don't think we have the full picture. Please, I can't vote for Cannon. So you are implicating Sei as well? No, not exactly, but her presence is important. If you think something's missing, just shout it out. We won't know what's going on in that head of yours if you keep stopping the trial for no reason. That's the problem. I don't know where to start. I could not yet sway the group with the absurd notion that Cannon would be wrongfully executed. I did not have the means to explain how I knew such a thing. I just think we ought to continue deliberating the details. There's something bothering me. If you could just entertain me with this, I'd like to further address the lacerations. While Cannon admitted that she shot Forte, she did not know whether or not it was the shot that killed him for certain. I saw her shoot him, but let's just say the shot itself didn't kill him right away, as far as I could tell. The stab wounds and the subsequent hidden gun wound weren't near his vitals, they were around his lower abdomen. And remember, the condition for lifting the darkness was to kill. Cannon, when did the lights go out? They were out seconds after I fired and just before the elevator doors closed on me. The elevator was still working though. I could not see a thing, but I felt the cabin move, bringing me back down to the foyer without a hitch. After I arrived on the foyer level, I waited out the darkness in the elevator cab before running off to the atrium. She waited out the darkness, and the darkness fell seconds after she fired. Lyle, we were just as immobilized in the testing chambers as Cannon was in the elevator cab and had to wait out the darkness as well so. That means Forte wasn't killed instantly. Sei must have taken advantage of his injured state, take the dagger from him with little resistance, and retaliated. He must have fallen weak from Cannon's shot when the lights went out. Sei stabbed him, finishing him off to lift the darkness. But that's the thing though. If she killed him immediately, wouldn't the darkness would simply just go away? Like immediately, right after Sei killed Forte, the darkness should have ended immediately, not long after it. That's the thing. I still have some questions about that. In that case, what you said about covering for Cannon was a lie. So you really stabbed Forte to death? Missy knows it. Cannon saw it too. I saw. I turned the dagger on Missy's feet. I turned the dagger on Missy first. She has the skull to prove it. Forte will be next. What are you talking about? I only saw Forte with the dagger, facing off against you. Then, when Then when did Sei acquire the dagger? If Forte didn't push Missy away in time, she would have fallen instead. No, you can't mean that. And why not? I planned that attack after I saw you pin the dagger into the wall. I took it. If you were planning to attack, why didn't you do so way sooner? You had a perfectly opportune time when we were all in the elevator going to the trial grounds. You're asking why I did not attack sooner? Oh, sorry. What was stopping you from doing so at every private opportunity? I'm challenging you to convince me out of your malicious intent. It's not something I wish to hear, but this doesn't make any sense. Why would Sei protect me only to endanger herself? That's enough. We are not getting anywhere like this. But this is discussion. It's impossible to make heads or tails of it. We had a culprit pinned from the start, Sei. But we drew out the trial only for Canon to take ownership of a hidden gun wound, and now we really are back to square one. Sei made the requirement for lifting darkness and hit the gun wound, so we will both wrong. Neither me, Missy, nor Echo were at the scene, so basing our conjecture on the testimonies of the two most suspicious people is impossible. Darn it. How can we possibly find the truth based on their word and word alone? I understood Lyle's frustration, but barring all discussion so far, there has always been an obvious culprit staring right at our face, but something inside me kept resisting the easy answer. I simply could not accept Sei as the culprit. I had to think. Those strange occurrences ending in death, I learned something I normally would not have. With no tangible proof what I need to express, I put faith in the facts learned from my memories of the events, hoping something would work out. I put my faith in believing no one here could kill, not after what happened twice already. Just why I did experience those strange occurrences. In the two scenarios, my life was gravely threatened, and yet I still stood here with the memories of those events. After all, they had to be happen for a reason, right? It was far-fetched, but I had to utilize what I learned, with hopes that the facts learned would guide me in the right direction. Okay, so here we go. Memory test. I had to think about what I've come to know. The information I learned when we revisited Cyrus' room. It was about the killing game. The game was an experiment to see who could survive and win, to overcome the ultimate students. In the game, participants were paired with each other close students to create friction between relations. The game was set up to sow chaos and disorder. Sei was listed alongside the former student Akihiko, now known to us as Zero. After Missy, Forte, and I came to a dead end in our search, we discovered Canon had been killed. Missy and Forte fell shortly after, then I, the last one standing, heard the voice of the assailant, Sei. She pleaded for escape, but in my near-death haze, I could recall Zero himself telling Sei, "You do not want the prize." That, even after eliminating everyone, killing wasn't the answer. I was whisked back in time somehow, back to the decision that would bring me into this point of life. Those were things I learned before falling into my demise, falling for a spare moment, that is. Finding new life mysteriously created into me. I wandered a different path, utilizing information that I learned from my previous experience, and that information had led us here to contemplate another murder. Foolish to think that experience would be at my best, as I would come to release the death once again when our discussion became a deadlock. This time, I risked emulating the strange death occurrence to pursue the thing I believed was missing from Forte's murder. It was a brief experience, but I saw the method Zero used to dispose of Canon, small, near-invisible needles shot at high speed, and little else before returning him. Sorry, here, I said hair. Hair is the animal version of rabbit, by the way. The truth felt close, but I felt an apprehension rising in my chest. Alright? Say, tell me. Sorry. What happened after Canon shot Forte? What happened? I stabbed Forte. How many times do I have to tell you? You stabbed Forte, but did you kill him? Isn't it obvious? It's not. Canon claims the shot. Canon claims Canon claims that before she shot you, Forte was the last one in possession of the dagger. The lights went out shortly after, and from that point, no one can really saw had the dagger. And though the dagger was plunged into Forte's abdomen, giving us the impression of it being the murder weapon, I cannot help but think otherwise. Primarily because of the scenario we found ourselves in, there were constant pressure upon us with the personalized motive spread throughout the exploration, that is, until Lyle's final personalized motive. With a heavy darkness to stoke our fear, we will be scrambling until someone acted maliciously from the previous set pressure. I could not even see my own hand in front of my face, let alone begin to think of a plan to kill and get away with it. So to carry it out to fruition will be near impossible. If the entire building was indeed plunged into such thick darkness, can't help but think, how could any of us have killed Torti and Forte? That's interesting phrasing. Yeah, what you are onto. Recall when our group split, Zero mentioned something interesting. So you all decided to split up, huh? That's alright. No sweat off my back, figuratively speaking, obviously. Thanks to your fancy bracelets, I can still locate where you are. There's no escaping from you quite yet. It seems he is able to know our whereabouts within the building. In this case, he was able to locate us from our bracelets. Sorry, I have to take a look at the lock because I was dazing out for like 3 minutes and now like completely different now. That's alright. No sweat off my back. Thanks to your fancy bracelets, I can still locate where you are. There's no escaping for you quite yet. So Zero is a playboy then. Are you implying Zero has taken motives to actively, though discreetly, participate in the game with us? There's no going back. Yes, I believe Zero might have had a hand in killing Forte. Huh? But that's nonsense. Have you lost your mind? Where are you getting this theory? I know you want us to entertain you, but this is a little much, isn't it? Lyle, please. I know it's a lot to ask, but you want to trust me? I'd like to hear where you're going with this funny idea as well, Nico. Lyle's intense leer burned through me, but he fell silent and allowed me to continue. He must be observing the next unpredictable move. It's like when I suggested the testing chamber through. Zero idly gazed back at me, a complete poker face missing whatever scheme he was plotting. I felt a strange sense of conviction that connected with his dedication to... Oh god, sorry that it's sleepy now. I felt a strange sense of conviction that connected an execution method with the mysterious pool of blood that was behind Forte's head would lead to me to the answer I was seeking. I had to use what I learned from an execution that end. The fact that Zero prepared to start out eagles. It's like Missy did. The more he talks, the faster his opinions will diminish. Zero, I want the truth. The truth that you're the one behind this. The truth? Let's see if you can find it. Okay, discussion again. You're making a ridiculous accusation, you know. How could I have possibly killed a student? Well, it's possible, unless if you're really young, like 16 or 17. Yeah, that's possible. I can only operate from within the courtroom. Zero is goading me. His voice was unwavering, but there's statement somewhere that I can use. Zero is okay. Zero is goading me. Okay, here we go. Oh, we have to agree with someone here. Okay, so then I can operate from within the courtroom. Okay, so we only have like three options. Two options even. How could I possibly get it? I can only operate from within the... No! Yes, as far as we've seen, we can only operate from within the courtroom, but that's where the body turned up, isn't it? That much was obvious. The announcement summoned us to the courtroom and there's no evidence of the crime being moved from one place to another. Okay, so that has to be the case. Okay. That much was obvious. The announcement summoned us to the courtroom and there's no evidence of the crime being moved from one place to another. What weapon do you suppose I could have killed him with? The only weapon available was the dagger Say admitted to using it. And I definitely didn't electrocute or use supersonic on anyone this time around. Face it, there's nothing in the courtroom that shows I had anything to do with this. The location. So, what weapon do I suppose I could have killed him with? The only weapon available was the dagger Say admitted to using it. I definitely didn't electrocute or use supersonic on anyone this time around. Face it, there's nothing in the courtroom that shows I had anything to do with this. It's true that there was nothing in the courtroom, but there are things beyond the courtroom walls, namely the tools used for execution that you clearly have some agency over. You conveniently omitted the cause of death because it would have implicated someone not from your group. Based on what everyone else knows, it sounds far-fetched, but to me, it was the only thing that made perfect sense. Oh, sorry, I accidentally pressed. Yeah. But based on what everyone else knows, it sounded far-fetched, but to me, it was the only thing that made perfect sense. Zero seemingly had no power in the courtroom, proven by the fact that during the past two trials, the hologram's purpose had been purely cosmetic. That said, the machinery behind the trial walls could very well suffice not only as tools for executions, but for murder and in and of itself. That's how it's going to be, huh? So, are you implying I took Forte beyond the walls, executed him, and dumped his body back out? Why would not I execute him and leave his body with the rest of the punished students? Hey, he did not do anything to receive an execution anyway. I'm not so heartless, you know. Oh, you're missing a piece in your argument. Echo, this discussion is going nowhere. What will Zero even have to gain from participating? I have nothing to gain from interfering, and in my position, I certainly have nothing to lose. If the ultimate prize is so deliberate that even an arbiter of the game would want to run it, yeah. If the ultimate prize is so deliberate that even the arbiter of the game would want to win it, then why would not Zero simply eliminate us from the start? Lyle brought up a good point. I haven't unearthed everything useful from Zero yet. And it's within reason that if Zero was the right as well, we would not have survived this long. So there has to be a reason why. Oh, we have to contradict him, I guess? So this guy has the yeah. I have nothing to gain from interfering. Oh. Ooh. I have nothing to gain from intervening. And in my position, I certainly have nothing to lose. Hang on, nothing to lose? Location and method was clear to me, but the motivation stumped me. I had to concentrate. If Zero truly had nothing to gain by executing us all, why did he only now carry out a plan to murder one of the game participants? He had, if he had nothing to gain, there must be something he did not want to lose, something he wanted to keep, something or someone. Zero and Sei, they have some sort of connection. That very connection could become the motive I'm looking for. Canon noted seeing Sei with the dagger last, just before the lights went out. Since Sei is unscathed and the room showed no signs of a gunshot in the wall, it's clear Forte must have taken the shot. Hang on, what? There's something in the podium. That's Zero's. Okay, so see. Is it with Gaia and yeah, is it with Gaia and his body actually, his body in the chamber room. I mean, that body is still in the chamber room. We haven't lifted that out. If Forte had the dagger the entire time, he would have used it against Sei, and if Zero was active in his offense against her, then he would have reason to consider Forte a threat to side. That has to be it. It's impossible for me to assert with any certainty what exactly occurred in the courtroom. However, I can think of a reason why it happened. Yeah, right. And it's not for the ultimate prize. Like Lyle said, if the ultimate prize was so desirable, why would not Zero get rid of us all from the beginning? In that case, winning the ultimate prize has nothing to do with why Zero acted. Although he is not strictly a participant, he's still involved. That involvement, there's something connecting to us as the participant to him as a overseer. Lyle, you have something very important that will complete the picture. The note. It reads, if you recognize one of these symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of the note's existence and trust no one but yourself. Lyle discovered this note in the pantry after seeing Sei duck in there for a brief moment. Sei must have known something as early as the third day. No, even earlier since Zero's emblem was shown on the second day. It's like Canon said, when the killing game announcement came on, Sei must have been put in on the person behind it. She's known all this time and played us for fools by ducking out of confrontation. Sei is the other insider. Her student profile didn't explicitly any document. Her student profile did not explicitly document any involvement in the game, but her files were paired along with Akihiko's, the one we currently call Zero. On the second day, when Zero summoned us to the atrium to present a special gift, this note must have been it. Based on what we know, it's now clear that Sei must have some insight on who Zero is. However, instead of thinking Sei was a spy within our ranks and conniving with Zero to plot against us, Zero is the one trying to bridge the gap between participants and arbiter to intervene with Sei's safety. Huh? Wait. But if that is the case, why would Sei go out of her way to direct the attention of implicating herself as the culprit? Isn't that action in diametric opposition of what you're implying? No! I killed Forte! He deserved it after all! She will be forsaking her own safety by placing the blame on herself, the false culprit, causing us to vote incorrectly and inevitably causing us all to die. Zero has nothing to do with it! Yeah, and also, if we voted wrong, if we voted wrong, then Sei could just live and we all be executed. Yes, Sei did to Forte during this trial was on her own volition, shattering the connection between her and Zero. If he killed to keep her safe, she completely threw that sentiment out of the window. I'm the only culprit! Vote for me! Well, Zero, what do you have to say about all this? You will never know the answer if you don't vote. If Sei confess, what's stopping you from accepting her judgment as good? You want to believe your friend, don't you? What's stopping me? I want to believe that she could never do something like that. That's it? Just like your completely out of this world conjecture about me interfering, you have no tangible basis to trust her either. Such irresponsible thinking could lead you to an execution, you know. Zero wasn't going to be shaken so easily, but the fact that his arguments are lofty and just as intangible gave me some solace that I could turn the trial around. I could do so by focusing on his of his motivation. Say, I'm not going to vote for you. You're the only one who knows what happens for certain. Come on, spill it out. We have nothing left to lose this time around. So please, tell us why. Why are you trying so hard to make us vote incorrectly? You cannot possibly want us to. You cannot possibly want all. You cannot possibly want us all to get executed, do you? Okay, let's see what. That's exactly what I want. Complete execution. I think that's a lie. The word here is thing. I think she is lying. Even though Canon admitted to something that she did not do, I went with it for the sake of redirecting the vote. Regardless if you voted for her or voted for me, it was going to be wrong and we all be facing execution. And we will finally be free from this horrible game. Say, you cannot possibly believe leading us to our demise is the right answer. Why not? I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Pandora is gone. Art is gone. Cyrus is gone. Ashley is gone. And now Forte is gone. Because of me. I can't stand any of this. The pain, hurt, and suffering. It's endless. Zero killed Forte to protect me. But I don't care. I don't know who is Zero anymore. I can always wait to find the shell of someone I knew. When this nightmare end? When will this nightmare end? When can we escape? Even if we do not kill, someone dies and we're still stuck. We were trapped, and I'm tired of believing in something that will never happen. I have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. Why keep going? What's the point of fighting? Everyone is slipping out of my fingers, and I'll be left alone. Alone? Say, look around you. You're not alone. What? You say you have nothing left to lose, but what about the people standing before you? We are not enduring the pain, the guilt, the torment for surviving for nothing. Endurance? Survival? Please. Oh, it's pointless at the 11th hour. So what? Say spiraling. I need to convince her she's not alone. That this fight is worth fighting. So what were we supposed to do? Hang on. Hopeless. Argue? What? How do we argue then? So I have no idea. Hang on. I still have no idea how this game mechanic works. So is it supposed to be a brand new one? I've never seen this one before. Say it's fine. I need to this not alone. should save here just in case that I got it wrong. That's the okay. No, I keep pressing A. No. Maybe on the defaults. It's so long. I will take a screenshot. Left click around. I will keep navigator interface. Where are we supposed to shoot? Are we supposed to? What are we supposed to do? No, I have no idea. What happened here? Hang on. No. No. That's the wrong. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There you go. Oh, okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, that took much longer than I thought. Okay, we're supposed to fill in the blanks there. So what she said earlier? Okay. So what? Our endurance is worthless. We survive another few hours until one of us is picked off again. The cycle will continue endlessly until we cease to exist. I'm just expediting the process. But a complete execution won't solve the problem. There must be another way out. I'm certain of it. There must be. So please help me. I can't stand it anymore. Okay, here you go. No, I can't. I want to forget it all. The horror, the fear of what's come to next. So please, stop this game, Dragon. Forget this nightmare and let me go! Forget? I want to stop this game too, but we should not forget the turmoil our friends went through. Pandora, Art, Cyrus, Ashley, and Forte. We cannot simply abandon our memories of them in the past. I'm not going to stop the game by voting for you. I'm not going to abandon my memory of you either. Me? But I don't understand. After what I've done to sabotage the trial. Oh, there you go. That's mine. There you go. That took way longer than I should. So hang on. I don't understand. After all I've done to sabotage this game, why fight for my sake? I'm hopeless. The truth of hopelessness was staring us straight in the face. There was no denying it. But I felt a desire to combat the terror that hung over us, and above all, after experiencing what Say did to us, out of desperation, I felt a responsibility to vouch for her innocence the only way I knew how. Say, you're not alone. You're here with us, as our friend. And you're not alone in feeling scared and hopeless. Everyone's trying their best to keep their head above the water. I don't know what will happen after this, or even if we'll make it out, but we have to try. But I did a horrible thing to Forte. To Forte, isn't this ending what I deserve? It's not your fault. How can you know that? I believe you. Please, I do not want to see us go through anything like this again, so you're the only one who knows for certain who the culprit is. The game will surely be over after we uncover this last truth. After all, you did not kill Forte. Is she about to burst into tears? How could I? How could I? Of course I did not kill him. I was so scared. Echo was right about the motives. The fact that little by little, everyone was being pushed some way or another into distress. I felt the pressure mounting. Who was to know what sort of motive? I felt the pressure mounting. Who was to know what sort of motive would be delivered? I took the dagger to protect myself. I could not possibly know what was going on in anyone's head after those motives, could I? I wasn't even relieved that I did not get a motive because I could not help but think about everyone else, that everyone would be given a reason to turn on to one another. And when Forte said he will take matters into his own hands, I feared for my life. At first, after I slashed at Misty and he overtook the dagger. What Canon saw was only half the story. He did appear to have the advantage over me, but it was just a performance for the only possible person in the audience. So Canon shot Forte and the lights go out. The lights went out. Darkness, Lyle's gift, direct from his fears to you. Only murder will lift the darkness. What the? Forte and I. Okay, this is Canon's voice. Sorry, this is Say's voice. Forte and I were plunged into a never-ending darkness. Even though I had not moved, I could not even tell where the floor was. But somehow, he found me. Don't move a muscle. And it seemed he quickly took action to meet the darkness lifting condition. Finally, Forte had the dagger pointed at my throat. I could feel the chilling cold steel just inches away. Finally, I thought time had stopped. Forte was still as stone with the dagger poised for my hand. He whispered something so low I thought I had imagined it. A stage where every man must play a part, and mine a sad one. Then Forte just fell. When the lights returned, I saw his body lying face up. A small pool of blood was forming behind his head. And I looked up to see the trial guards ball close steadily, and the Zero hologram with this awful satisfied expression. He made a gesture like he was holding an invisible camera. Zero clued in on who he was going to mark as the culprit, even though Zero killed Forte himself. Zero planned to manipulate the outcome of the trial. I could see the trial play out in my head. Forte's gun would have been the decisive clue. The pool behind his head probably thought to just be from the falling impact. I could not believe it. Forte was killed because of me, and Canon was going to be framed because of me. I picked up the dagger Forte dropped. The true culprit was never going to be found. I was going to make the trial easy and direct the blame towards me, so the wrongful and execution following could happen right away. Then, we would not have to suffer a long trial. And this dreadful game could finally come to an end. After all, it's my fault Forte was pushed to do such a thing to himself. Killing is the only answer here, so he was forced into a corner, using me as bait to sacrifice himself to Zero. He went through all those lengths for me. Why didn't he just kill me and be done with it? I could not understand what had happened. So I thought if I could lead the trial to an innocent if I could lead the trial to an incorrect vote, then the game would end without me having to do that terrible thing, and would be freed from this trap. But Zero saved me. He took you out of the harm's path. At least that's what he thought he was doing. Say, you know that he was trying to manipulate the blame off you, so why did you still try to redirect the vote to yourself? Because I have nothing else to look forward to. I ended up here for one reason or another, and all the signs have pointed towards demise. Because even after all that, Whoever that Zero is, he is not my friend anymore, and now I have nothing. Say, you must know by now that we're here for you. Mrs. Right, we've been trapped, that much is certain, but we are not isolated. We have each other, and together we can help each other build up hope for escape. We don't need to act alone. Akihiko, we both wanted to save. Akihiko, we both wanted to save someone. You don't really think this was the answer, do you? Manipulating the trial like this, it's unruly. Akihiko isn't here anymore. Since giving himself up to the game, his conscience has been long gone. Being so disillusioned by the way he and his fellow ultimates were treated, he dropped everything and let himself be consumed with despair. It's poetic, isn't it? He gave himself up because this game was the only thing he could cling to. It gave him purpose. In fact, Gaia is also holding onto the killing game. Can you really trust her? After all, she oversaw the game just as I am, before you released her, that is. After all she did was watch and let Pandora die. You have no idea the sacrifice I went through. I sit at the idea that you think I idled and watched her die. Uh-huh. And what have you done since to prevent it? You did not try to stop her assailant like I did you? So, do you think Gaia is on your side, spouting empty sentiment and rolling over, doing nothing but watch the game carelessly like take life? I'll tell you what, your friend Gaia here did something very interesting. Don't you dare demonize what I did! Excuse me? I never killed anyone in my game. You, on the other hand, why? You disgust me. I invited you to open the foyer doors so one of these fools could deliver your punishment. They have no reason to trust you after all. There are no rules, save for one. Those who kill should not get away with it. Let me give it one more try. Oh, that's her angry look there. I love it. Gaia isn't your friend, not a chance. She has played this game once before, and will do anything to keep herself from losing going forward. And even from the winner's circle, she did what she could to gain the advantage. She's the one who trapped you on this ship. She's the one who trapped you in this ship. Ship? Even if someone won this game, there will be nowhere to go. You're completely sealed in, left to die in isolation, confined in these walls. It's crazy, isn't it? In fact, trapping you all may be a ploy for her to kill again. Why not? It'll prove once more that she's deserving of being called an ultimate. You do not understand. I did what I had to do. Oh, of course I don't understand. You're the one giving hope to these people, yet all you've done is cause trouble. Unfortunately for you, I control what occurs in this vicious cycle. Oh, I love that graphical thing there. And I'm using this power to keep safe. Keep me safe? You should have never brought me here in the first place. I know, I was tricked. This game is false. I won the killing game that precedes this one and received the ultimate prize. The price of a lifetime of suffering. That's the price? The price! Within a group of incredibly talented individuals, will someone defeat their fellow ultimate students and came out on top, their efforts and achievement will be highly prized, wouldn't they? To see who could come out on top. That was the experiment the preservation project was conducting. The project wanted to gather the very best of the best, for the sake of future, as it were. This pair program has ruined whatever the semblance of Akihiko remained, creating this Zero persona. Zero was the false name you ran under in the previous game, after all. It's no surprise to me that it's being used again under the guise of a killing game operator. Despite that, Akihiko will vehicle's field to protect Sadie persists in the Zero's memory. Forte must have taken the risk to see whatever unnerving entity connected to Sadie would act. I hardly recognize him anymore. His voice is the same, but I don't know who that is anymore. There's no trace left. That's right. It's a shell of his former self. The game and all its terrors now inhabit the ultimate radio host. Aki wanted to erase the wrongdoing he committed in this game, and ready? 815-165-000. Stop! The hologram cracked in and out. The program was fighting itself right before our very eyes. Your efforts are wasted. You gave yourself up to despair, and yet you still try to deliver a signal of hope. You define your own actions, the very self-preservation action that you saved. You defied your own actions, the very self-preservation actions that saved you in the last game. What happened to selflessness? I can't tell. I'll bury you! The arbiter we call Zero was fighting itself, its current form and a former form, trying to make sense of its own actions. What? Despair. 1-1-0-0. What's happening? A conflict we cannot control. I have a last-ditch effort prepared. If we cannot just overcome the darkness. The light shuddered as we watched Zero's fight unfold. Is it? The Zero entity fought its way to dominance, greeting us with its haunting grin. Well, I guess you caught me, eh? Fine, the jig is up. I won't resist since I've been thoroughly caught in the act by some triumph of hope or whatever nonsense you want to admit. After all, I will not be doing your effort justice to keep fighting back after you went through so much trouble. It must have been some rotten luck that got you out of this one, huh? Who are you, Echo? I don't know how you, a talentless nobody, managed to realize that the trick I pulled off. By all accounts, you should have been executed by now. If all went according to my manipulation, Cannon should be pincushioned and the rest of you dropped into incinerator. Although, what's stopping me from letting that happen? I'll execute myself and bring you all with me. Don't you dare! This is the last show with your host Zero, singing off today's cast with eternal dead air. The lights bloomed violently, oversaturating the trial grounds with a blast of glaring heat. Darn it! No! A tremor thrilled through the room. The sound of metal creaking filled the halls, and the lights flickered dizzyingly as we all struggled to gain footing. Everyone, get down and cover your head and neck! We all dove to the floor, each quake jolting us to and fro with ease. With darkness once again? Katunk. What's going on? Oh. The shaking came down into a low rumble, and the ground eventually settled into stillness once more. The lights returned to a dim glow, and the five of us cautiously rose to our feet. The trial grounds were quiet. Where's that? Where's that Zero? Lyle leapt to his feet, darting around the trial grounds for the signs of the arbiter. Are you alright? A concerned static-filled hologram of Gaia illuminated the room. We're fine, no thanks to you. I'm sorry. I didn't anticipate the superstructure would have yet buckled under pressure, but seeing as Zero overloaded the systems, the adverse effect of his self-inflicted execution may have sped up the process. What are you talking about? That doesn't explain where you were and why you were never helpful. Lyle, come on, we're all fine, aren't we? I helped Kanon to her feet, as Missy did the same with Sei. Are you okay, Kanon? A little shaky, but I'm in one piece. Thanks. Missy? Sei? We're alright. That is a relief to hear. So, that's it, right? Huh? Zero is gone. The game is over. We're done here, aren't we? So let's get the hell out of here. Hang on. He's gone, but there's so many more unanswered questions. First of all, he said we're on a ship. Even if we get out, we're still stuck, drifting out on sea. If there was a wholly unknown testing chambers below us this entire time, it's within reason there's a helm hidden somewhere as well. Gaia, was it? He said you were irresponsible for such a thing. Is this true? Gaia sighed. I will answer your questions in due time. For now, I would like to ask that all of you rest for a spell before coming down the testing chambers. It's been a long few days for you all. What? And let you jump ship through a concealed exit passageway while our guard is down? No way. Well, I understand your desire to push forward, but a break would allow us to sort our thoughts. Please, I'm not going anywhere. I will await your arrival. Gaia's hologram clips out as the rest of us shuffle idly. Lyle huffs and shrugs as he made his way to the elevator. Looks like that was the end. There was no vote, no execution, just the end. Well, we are about to do execution on Kanon or Sei, but even if that were to happen, then we all voted wrong. Although Zero's destruction proved some relief, I still left uneasy. There was still some uncertainty what was lurking before us. I sighed. The rest of us followed Lyle into the elevator, and together we returned to the foyer. Us remaining 5 students left the trial grounds in the shadows for good. Ooh, that's it? Chapter 4, that's the end? Oh, yes. Next time will be the epilogue, and that should be the final episode, I hope. Chapter 4, Endless and Unfamiliar. And yeah, that once the epilogue will start, well, yeah, I think, yeah, this is supposed to be the epilogue, I guess. And let's see where we ended up next. But for now, oh, my throat, my god, my throat are so sore. So let me take a drink for a while. Oh my god. Nah. Oh my god. Lyle, Missy, Kanon, Sei, and myself. Only 5 of us remain. Our group, cut brutally in half by the game we were forced to participate in, found its final survivors. In that very same order, we trudged out of the elevator cab and returned to the foyer. I'm going ahead. Don't wait up. I want answers. Gaia had better fess up. I want answers. Gaia had better fess up about all this. Hang on, Lyle. I want to talk to her first, alone. Why? I just need to know why she gave me a talent. How could she know something like that? Something that I'm not even aware of. Why me? Please, I just need to know what's going on. Alright, but being an ultimate student isn't all it's all up to be. It's a world of misfortune. I know. Lyle shuffled off toward the foyer's door's entryway. The rest of the students stood by as well. It seems no one else was quite ready to go down. I wondered what was going through everyone's mind right now. I think we should end right here, right at the very end. Yeah, it's the epilogue. So yeah, next time will be the final episode of this playthrough. Well, yeah, that was a very tough class trial. I have no idea how long it was, but yeah, I will see it once this recording ends. But until then, thank you so much for watching. This is also Galcon signing it off, and I'll see you in the next video and the final video for Danganronpa Lapse. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.